Alright, so since I've been getting stupid high IATs, I went ahead and bought some of this stuff here. Yeah, whatever. I went ahead and bought some of that so I could wrap these headers to try to control the heat in the engine bay a little bit. Hopefully it works. If not, then I just wasted like $60. But it should work. I've always known those things to actually hold the heat pretty well. So alright, so I just barely put this plug on here because the whole time I had my old O2 sensor in here. I think it's under there somewhere. But yeah, I had my old O2 sensor in here and it just wasn't plugged up no more because obviously I use the wideband now. So I'll go ahead and start wrapping this thing. I don't know which side I should start from. I don't know if I should start from the bottom or start up top. I think the majority of the heat that's coming from my header is probably coming from like this lower portion of it because it's like right underneath my intake manifold. So I really think most of the heat is coming from the lower end of it, but what's this called? My fault, I was reading text and got distracted. So yeah, I don't know if I should start from the top or from the bottom. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to cover the whole thing. They say this is 2 inches by 50 feet. I would think that would be enough to cover the whole thing, but I don't know, so let's see. So one thing I didn't take into account is that there's like no space up in here. So I don't know how I'm gonna wrap all 4 of them, you know. Alright, so it's looking like what I'm probably gonna have to do is start from like right here instead of starting from down here like I did with this one. And what I'm most likely gonna have to do is buy another roll because I definitely don't think this one's gonna be enough. And then I'm just gonna, when I go to start down here at the bottom, I'll just wrap it up to, you know, wrap it up to like right here. Alright, so I don't know how I managed to do this, but I measured it wrong. I think when I had it down here at the bottom, I had it up higher than it is right now. So that's how I ended up losing, you know, my place with the measurement. And I can see right here, like, this one's much tighter. Well, not that it's tighter, but it's like, I didn't overlap as large as I could have. It looked like I only did it like right here and right here, so it still wouldn't have been enough length really. So I don't know, I guess I could probably just like wrap over it with another piece, but I don't know if it's gonna stay. I don't know, I'll see. Alright, so I looked at the directions and they said that you're supposed to start from the collector side and work your way up. I actually did it backwards on this one. This particular one. Just because I really was just trying to measure it out, you know, wrap it around and get the length right. But when I was wrapping it on there, it got on there tight and it was looking pretty good. So I was like, I'm gonna just put it on there that way. And I didn't take into account that it probably looks different from the rest of them. But that's alright. So I'm thinking what I want to do is wrap the other one the same way. You know, do it backwards and wrap it from the top all the way down. I low-key want the 1320 to still be out. I don't know if it's possible for me to wrap around it, but I don't know, I might just go ahead and cover it, forget it. So this is my absolutely hideous final product. At least it's hideous to me. It looked kind of crazy how it's shining. But this is where it really get ugly. But yeah, this is the finished product. It's not the prettiest thing, but hopefully it does work. Hopefully it keeps my IATs down, because that was the whole point of this. I'm not expecting to really, not necessarily gain power, but if my IATs are down, then my power, I'll have much more power. Because when we was on a dyno and my IATs was at like 130 or so, somewhere around there, I made like 206 or something like that, 207 horsepower. And then we threw a bag of ice on the intake manifold. We did another pull, and then it made like, I think that was when it made 218 or something like that. It made much more power at that point. So yeah, hopefully this will help my IAT stay down. Now it's just the struggle of putting this crap back in here without it getting unwrapped by getting hooked on this, that, and everything else. Alright, so this stuff should smoke. I don't know for how long, but yeah, of course it's gonna smoke. Go ahead and start the car. Oh, I gotta connect my battery back, and then go ahead and start the car and see what happens. Alright, so now it's starting to smoke. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but I'm gonna back the car out so I'm sitting up in here smoking. So my intake is definitely much cooler than it usually is. I haven't been driving the car, it's just been idling, but it's still much cooler. Oh, it's another. My intake manifold, I feel like it's like ice cold. I don't know why it's so loud. These injectors are dumb loud. I never noticed that. Yeah, so I think this is probably doing its job. Just standing right here, it feels much cooler too. So that's good. Alright, y'all, let's see what them IATs is talking about. Dang, 94. That's way better. I'm honestly surprised. But that's what's up. That was the goal, so. I'm gonna probably go do like 1 or 2 pulls around the block, and that'll be it for now. And I'll really check it out tomorrow. Alright, so I just changed my wideband sensor. Excuse me. It should say it's full lean, because the car's not running. Taking a cool little minute to heat up. It never took that long before. But that's right. It probably had to calibrate or something. since it's so yeah, I think it's probably where it's supposed to be. At this point, all I gotta do is change my spark plugs, and then I'll have to hit up my tuner, send him some data logs, and then see if we can possibly squeeze a little more power out of this thing. Yeah, I don't know, we're gonna see. So I'm not entirely sure why, but for whatever reason it's not getting a wideband reading on here. Showing my AFR at like 2 point something. So I was gonna data log, but since it's doing that, there's no point. Wideband isn't working. I don't know if that's because I just changed the sensor or if it's something to do with my wiring for the actual gauge. So despite my header being wrapped, I'm still getting 110 IATs. It is like 90, yeah, I think 95 right now. So it's hot out, but yeah, that sucks, man. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled over at this gas station that's just out here in a cut next to the dealerships. Just letting it cool off a little bit, because it's not overheating or nothing. It's at like 195 for coolant, and then IATs was at like 120 something. So it wasn't overheating, but I just wanted to let it cool down some. Might as well take some pictures while I'm here. So I sat here for like a good 5 or 6 minutes, and it's still at the same exact temps. So I don't know why my car is doing this weird idle thing. It had started doing this yesterday too while I was driving it. It's like it slightly comes up. You can't even hardly see the gauge move, but it's like the idle is coming up maybe like a good 50 to 100 RPMs, and then going back down, and it's idle surging. It's never did that before. But I went ahead and changed my launch control settings back to 5,500 RPMs. Just because I like the way it sounds. And I remember it used to shoot flames. And on the other setting it doesn't. I don't know if it's still going to shoot flames or what, but I don't know. Let's see, let's find out. So I don't know if it shot flames or anything. I like how after I did that, it started idling, just consistent after that. it stopped doing that weird idle surge thing. Oh, and then it just came back right now.
Right.